Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the NFL Coverage. Before we get started, you guys already know the deal. We're going to do it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, subscriber giveaway. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment on any video, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win $50 on the 1st and 15th of every month. Ivy Talks podcast there on the YouTube. Also, if you want to support the channel, theivyfitness.com. We got workout programs for those of y'all trying to get into the fitness journey. We got free 30-day challenge right here, New Year's special. It's going to be up the remainder of January, so not too many more days left, but we will have one dropping here in February for Valentine's Day special. But stay tuned for that. Go ahead and download it. We got workout programs. Check out all the different things we have. We also have apparel and stuff like that. If you're needing a very specific workout program, maybe you're at home some days at the gym, the other days, fill out this coaching form and I can help you with writing, or I can write you a workout program specifically tailored for your needs. Also, while we're here, supplements, ladies and gentlemen, the finalformsubs.com. Check out, we got stuff for bone health. We got stuff for sleep, protein powders, creatine, pre-workouts, coffees and teas, handcrafted, handmade bars of soap, all that good stuff. Where's the one I use? I want to see the one I use. Hold on. Let me show you guys. This one's my favorite. Where's the brief? Yes, this one. It's got stuff to kind of help open up your sinuses. That time of the year, people's allergies are going all haywire. So the Breathe Clear soap really helps with opening your airways with eucalyptus and stuff like that is infused in there. So check that out. All right, let's get straight into it. AFC Championship, the Patriots and the Denver Broncos. Low scoring game. Kind of somewhat what I expected between these two. Both really good defenses. As we talked about, Patriots have a top 10 defense, I believe top 5 defense. Broncos had a really good defense as well. But the Broncos obviously out with Bo Nix. And so Jared Shidham, I think that's how you say his last name, played the game. Didn't play too bad. Threw a touchdown, had his interception there as well. 133 yards, 17 of 31. So just over 50%. 50% completion rate. But yeah, pretty defense dominant game. Obviously, the Patriots got it exactly what they need. Drake May, very interesting. Drake May only threw for 86 yards, 10 of 21, just under 50%. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Rating there is 58.8. Harvey, 37 yards, no touchdowns. Stevenson, 71 yards, no touchdowns. Receiver, Cortland Sutton had the only touchdown for the Denver Broncos. Right there, 17 yards of the catch, and 2 catch for 51 yards right there for Matt Collins. So almost pretty much an evenly matched game. Both of them are pretty close in time of possession. Fumble loss there for Denver, which really hurt them. And just this right here, 79 rushing yards. So shout out to the New England defense for holding the base under 80 yards. And that's where New England really strived with 141 rushing yards. They only had 65 passing yards total, which again doesn't necessarily make sense because he has 86 total yards for Drake May. That's what that is. It's total yards. I believe he only threw for 56 yards specifically. Let me double check that. I believe he had like 50 something total passing yards. Check out my handy dandy notey notes. He's right here. No, he had 86. So I don't understand. Anyway, that's Newey. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why it's all messed up like that. But Drake May did have a rushing touchdown though. 65 rushing yards, 10 carries, 65 rushing yards, and 1 touchdown. So totally had like 140-ish, 150-ish yards, 85 and 65, 86 and 50, whatever. So that's gonna be the New England Patriots. The Rams played the Seahawks. Really, really good game. I mean, really good game. Matthew Stafford had an absolute both quarterbacks had an absolute field day. Matthew Stafford almost just shy of 375, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Sam Darnold, 346, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Both have phenomenal passer ratings. Rushing, Kenneth Walker, 62. Blake had 55. Kenneth Walker with the touchdown. Puka Nuka, 165, one touchdown. Jack Smith and Jigba, 153 and a touchdown. So again, kind of how the Seahawks and Rams have been faring this season. Very dominant from the offensive standpoint. Again, we're talking about two top offenses. And again, really close, came down to the fourth quarter. The Rams had an opportunity to kick a field goal down by 4, had an opportunity to kick a field goal to get the points with enough time to kick the kickoff, get a stop on defense, and maybe get the ball and be in position to get another field goal for the win. They went for it and they didn't convert. Seahawks got the ball, and that they pretty much held on to it the remainder of the game. Time went out and Seahawks got it done. I was kind of hoping the Rams got the dub there, but shout out to the Seahawks and that matchup there. Really exciting game. As you guys see the breakdown here, time of possession is pretty close. Fumbles, Rams had 4 fumbles, lost 1. Penalty yards, pretty much even. Punt averages, pretty much even. No interceptions. Rams, 3 sacks, 1 sack. So again, total yards, 479 for the Rams, 396. So both performed well. It just came down to the last possession, and the Seahawks defense really got it done there to get a fourth down stop. So we're moving on to the Super Bowl. So this week, obviously, we have the Pro Bowl. So this would be the last episode before we recap, because I'm going to go over Super Bowl matchup. And then the next episode will just be kind of capping off the season, going over how the Super Bowl went and all that good stuff. So we have the New England Patriots, the number 2 seed in the AFC, and the number 1 seed for the NFC, with the Seahawks playing on the Super Bowl February 8th. All right. So let's break down this game. Let's break it down. Seahawks, Patriots. This should be a pretty evenly matched game, maybe, right? I know for the Patriots, people are saying they had the easiest conference of schedule in the league. I believe they had the 3rd or 4th easiest strength of schedule all the way to the Super Bowl. So, a lot of people are like, are they really battle tested, this, and the third? I think, yes, they had an easy strength of schedule, but they've been tested. They've beaten I believe they've beaten 3 top 5 defenses, 3 top 10 defenses for sure. Let's go to the bracket real quick. So the Patriots had to beat the Chargers. Okay, cool. Texans, top 5, number 1 defense in the league. Broncos, top 5 defense in the league, right? So the Patriots have played another team that had a solid defense earlier in the season, and they've beaten the Broncos more than once. So overall, team-wise, maybe the schedule has been pretty easy. But in terms of playing really good defenses, they've been tested and they've weathered the test. So that is something for the Patriots that is kind of coming to fruition, because in the start of the playoffs, people were talking about, oh, we don't know if they're legit. We'll see. They haven't played anybody. But again, if you look, Chargers, okay, Chargers were pretty decent, sure. Patriots, that was a legit win. That's a good test. Broncos, that was legit. Now, I do understand Broncos were out with their starting quarterback, but in terms of how they fare against a defense is what I'm looking at. They played the number 1 defense and beat them. They played a top 5 defense and they beat it. So now they're going on to the Seahawks. So I think Patriots are legit. Now, are they legit enough to beat the Seahawks? Because the Seahawks, offensively, it's going to be one of the better offenses that they played. Seahawks, they got the 7th offense in the league, top 7. Seahawks defense is 5th. So again, a top 5 defense. Now, New England's played top 5 defenses before. How will they fare? We'll see. If Drake May comes out and throws for 86 yards, they're not going to win. They do have to find a way to get going a little bit on the offense against these defenses. But again, they're not slouches. 391, they're 4th in offense. So they got statistically better. Again, statistically, they have a better offense. Now, I do understand they are playing less competition, because Seahawks check the schedule. Their resume and who they've beaten does look a lot better. Again, they played the Rams. Talk about the Rams had a top 5, top 10 offense and top 10 defense, or top 5 offense, top 10 defense, right? Their defense had gotten better. I think it was top 10. It might have been middle of the pack. I don't remember. But they played Rams, legit team, right? Rams at one point were number 1 in the AFC, and they ended up finishing, I believe, number 2 in the NFC. Who was this? Who was the number 2 seed? No, Rams finished. Sorry, Rams were fifth in the NFC. But we all know Rams were legit when Matthew Stafford is on his game. Defense, New England, they got a top 10 defense, right? Seattle top 5 offense. So I really don't know. I believe offensively, even though Seahawks offense is ranked less statistically, take into account their strength of schedule, I do think the Seahawks have more weapons offensively. I think their offense is more explosive. I think Seahawks have bigger potential to put up more points, right? Now, I get that their points, Seahawks are third. New England, they still put up points a second. But again, we're talking about these numbers are just points, it's yardage. So who they play does factor into this. And so in the NFC, which I think the NFC was a harder road for the Seahawks against better teams, they were still third in the NFL in points playing against better competition. But again, New England is still no slouch. I still think that they can compete. So I think it'll be a good game. I do think it'll be higher scoring. I don't see it being like the Broncos where it's 10-7. I can see this being 24-27, 27-31, kind of in that ballpark area. But we will have to see because, of course, these defenses are game planning. The Super Bowl, they always say offense wins you games, defense wins you championships. This is going to come down to defense, right? Because at the end of the day, the way to win is to score more points than you give up, right? And I think the bigger focus is your defense hold the opponent's team to less points. That's the mindset. Hold the opponent's team to less points. If Seahawks can score 28 or if New England can score 28, you win. Defense, you only give up 21. That's the mindset. It's not just outscore the defense and outscore the other team, right? Because it's not your offense going against the other offense directly. Indirectly, yes. But it's not like both offenses on the field at the same time and they're going against each other. No. It's the offense versus the defense when they're on the field. It's the defense versus the offense. So when New England is out on the field, Seattle's defense has to get takeaways or they have to get off on third down. Now, that's one thing the Seahawks do. This is why I'm leaning towards the Seahawks in this game. Seahawks, if they can get New England a third down, Seahawks get off the field. They're number one in the league in third down conversions, meaning they are the best team at getting off the field when it's third down. When you get off the field in third down, you give your offense the ball back. That means your offense has more opportunities to score. They can dominate the time of possession, and that gives them more opportunities to put points on the scoreboard, whether it's a field goal, whether it's a touchdown. And not only that, you can also change momentum. If you get a stop on defense, give your offense the ball. And even if your offense doesn't score, right? But they punt it and you can get New England backed up or you get your opponent backed up. Now you put them in a worse field position. Because let's say, for example, New England's offense, they go down, they get about to midfield, they get a stop, they punt the ball. They're out of field goal range, they punt the ball. Now Seahawks have it. Now, Seahawks, if they drive, let's say they don't get too far, they go to punt, but they get a good punt and they down the ball at the 5-yard line. Now, Seahawks get the ball back, yes, but they are so much further from a field goal possession or a touchdown to where you're decreasing their likelihood of scoring. Now you have to get another stop. So even if you don't score, taking the ball, especially if you're up, taking the ball away by getting a stop, running some clock out, punting it, and making them waste clock. Because once you're up, in most situations, once you're up, the clock is on your side. Now, there are certain situations late in the fourth where if you're only up by a field goal, then, the clock can actually go against you, right? We've seen that before with the guys like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes, where they're up, but they're not up by enough. They score, they get the ball back. There's too much time. Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, we've seen time and time again. Too much time on the clock. They go down, score field goal, score touchdown, game over, right? But for the most part, the clock is on your side. Now, I think the key to this is coming out aggressive. I don't think coming out being conservative, calling safe plays. I don't think that's going to work. It might work if you get up 2 or 3 possessions, right? I don't see the game getting that far away from either team because both defenses are going to step up. So I'm leaning towards Seattle. One, because their resume looks better. They've played better competition. Even at better competition, they got a top 5 defense. They got a top 10 offense. They are first in the league at third down conversions. Their defense is first in points allowed. So they don't give up a lot of points defensively either. Their run game is third. So now the Patriots have to really get the ball going in the passing game because I don't see them being able to run against this defense. So Drake May's going to have to step up offensively in throwing the ball. That's really going to come to 86 yards. That's not going to cut it. Drake May's going to have to come out and he's going to have to throw for 250, 300 plus yards because Sam Darnold's going to come out and throw for 300 plus. Sam Darnold's going to come out, throw for 300, 2-3 touchdowns, maybe an interception because we're still playing against a good defense. But Sam Darnold is on fire right now. He's going to come out, throw 300 yards. So Drake May is going to have to throw the ball. He's going to have to throw efficiently. He doesn't have to be explosive and throw a bunch of downfield. Doesn't have to be 40 yards, 30, 50 yards every other play. They need to play textbook Patriots football. Nickel and dime, take what they give you, get down the field, get in field goal range, go for a touchdown. If you don't get it, kick the field goal, put punts on the board. That's what they got to do. And then maybe, just maybe try to establish the run early. They haven't really been, they're obviously sixth in rushing offense, but they aren't really a heavy lean on the run game. And they also do it by committee. They got 2 good running backs that they kind of split with. It's not like Kenneth Walker, who's an absolute unit, especially now that their backup is injured. He's carrying a lot of the weight, but he's been going on an absolute tear these past few games with, 70 yards, 100 plus yards, 118 yards, like he did a few games ago. And you see that, he's hit over 1,000 yards this season, and he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry, which is very, very important. Same with Stevenson, but again, he's only got 130 carries compared to 222, 603. So Seattle, I believe they're more diverse. They can run the ball, even though they're tied 10th. Again, statistically, they're 10th instead of 6th. But again, level of competition does matter. But they can lean on their run game. They need to. Ken Walker, he'll give you a 120 if you don't step up. And then Sam Darnold throw for 300 for sure. I don't know if Stevenson's going to give you a 120. And I don't know if Drake May can also give you 300 at the same time. So they're going to have to figure that matchup out. All right. So last thing, let's go into some NFL awards. These are just betting odds. So like, who's the favorite to win? MVP, Matthew Stafford, still up there for the likely to win MVP. Offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith and Jigba is the favorite there. Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett. Obviously, you can see these odds are hugely in Myles Garrett's favor. Same for Jackson Smith and Jigba, huge favor. Comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey, again, rightfully so for him. And those are the odds for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Super Bowl is about a week and a half away. Pro Bowl this week. And then next Sunday, we have Super Bowl Sunday. And we'll see how this game plays out, right? My gut feeling's telling me it's going to be a good game. I hope it's a good game. I think it's going to be a good mix of offense and defense. So I think there's going to be some defensive plays being made, some stops, but I do think there's going to be some scoring, right? I do believe pound for pound, if you look at roster and talent, I think Seahawks have the momentum when it comes to offense. So it's really the New England's defense. They got to take away that momentum early because Sam Darnold with the offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you talk about Kenneth Walker, like they got some weapons on that offense for Seattle. Now, again, Houston does too. I know Stephon Diggs kind of revitalizing his career, but don't sleep on him. If you don't show up and you don't keep him in check, he'll go for 100. He'll go for 100 yards easy, right? With the run game, I know they don't lean on their run game that heavily, but Stevenson and Henderson, the backup, that two-headed monster they got. If you don't feel those gaps come downhill, they'll run on you. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Shout out to the New England Patriots fans for making the Super Bowl. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks fans, them for making the Super Bowl. And the next episode, we'll recap Super Bowl, cap off this season, and this will be the finale of season 3 of the NFL coverage. So again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in week to week, staying up to date on the NFL stuff, and I'll catch you guys after the Super Bowl.